world will burn to ashes! You are not real! You are not real! You're still talking to me, soldier! There's no mission!
Let me start by saying I've studied psychology at the GCSE, the A level and the university level. For those outside the UK, that means I've studied at school, college, university. So I like to think I've picked out some good films for you. They are a little bit on the nose for psychology. To be honest, every film has an element of psychology in it, but I picked the ones that I think are really useful for people looking at psychology as a potential course or an area to go into, or those already in psychology and want some motivation, inspiration, or perhaps just some study material, something that helps them understand what they're currently learning. My name's Joshua. I'll be doing these videos every Wednesday. If there is a subject you would like me to do, you can just leave a comment below and maybe I'll be doing it next week. Other than that, let's get into the intros and our first film. So this first film, it's actually one of my favourite films. It stars Russell Crowe and Paul Bettany, and it's one of those subjects I think we all know about, but we don't always talk about it. In fact, as kids, you've probably heard the phrase schizo before. Now, the condition of schizophrenia is very serious and something that deserves our attention, and this film really puts it in the spotlight. We see a real life figure suffer from schizophrenia, and we see the kind of treatment he gets, and we also see the kind of social support he gets. Now, the social support is particularly interesting. The film's called A Beautiful Mind. It came out in 2001, and I'll show you the trailer and leave a comment below of what you think.
John Nash was one of the most brilliant minds of his generation.
Welcome to Princeton. Who among you will be the next Einstein?
Find a truly original idea, and it's the only way I will ever distinguish myself. It's the only way I will ever matter.
He saw the world
Where's Nash?
Out there, looking for his original idea.
in ways that no one could imagine.
This flies in the face of 150 years of theory.
Congratulations, John. It's the achievement of a lifetime.
From producer Brian Grazer and director Ron Howard,
I'm wondering, Professor Nash, if I can ask you to dinner. You do eat, don't you? How big is the universe?
Infinite.
How do you know for sure?
I don't, I just believe it.
It's the same with love, I guess.
the extraordinary gift
What can I do for the Department of Defense?
that set him apart.
You are the best natural code breaker I have ever seen.
You've done your country a great service, son.
Would push his mind
Get in!
What is wrong with you?
beyond its limits.
Somebody, help me!
John, open the door. Talk to me. Tell me what happened.
It didn't happen.
This is not what I signed on for.
I'm not leaving.
Stop!
You can't reason your way out of this.
Why not? Why can't I?
I need to believe that something extraordinary is possible.
DreamWorks Pictures, Universal Pictures, and Imagine Entertainment present
You have to help me.
one man's journey to the greatest discovery of all.
You don't know it's real. This is real.
Academy Award winner Russell Crowe, Academy Award nominee Ed Harris, and Jennifer Connelly.
Perhaps it is good to have a beautiful mind, but an even greater gift is to discover a beautiful heart.
A Beautiful Mind.
So our next film, it's a bit weird. OCD is quite a serious condition, but we quite often make jokes about it. We quite often say to someone who has some particular way of doing things, or is really tidy, or you think if you ever watch the series Friends, Monica is actually quite a classical example of someone with OCD, obsessive compulsive disorders, if you didn't know what I was referring to. Yet this film really sheds light on just how serious it can be. Again, I believe it's based on a true character. It's a Martin Scorsese film with Leonardo DiCaprio, I'm not going to show you a trailer, I'm actually just going to show you a scene, and I think it's quite a classical scene of, I think, what we think of when we hear about someone with OCD. Have a look.
You fellas can handle this thing any way that you want to. I'm not going to make any rules. We can, well, discuss it first and...
Okay, sorry about that. I actually forgot I switched the order, so you saw a little bit of my next film. But just so you know, that film there with Leonardo DiCaprio, it's called The Aviator. Now that came out in 2004. Let me know what you think of that film in the comments below. But this next one, it's not about mental health, give you a break on that. It's about social influence, particularly minority influence. So in psychology, you normally look at great figures such as Rosa Parks, who sat on the part of the bus which only meant for people of white colour, or you got Martin Luther King. Now, this film really highlights not just the power of influence, well, particularly minority influence, but also social prejudices, and also how society works under law. Now, it is a black and white film, it is in the 50s, so please be patient with this clip, but the clip I'm going to show you is particularly exciting, and I'm just going to show you. Let me know what you think in the comments.
You fellas can handle this thing any way that you want to. I'm not going to make any rules. We can, well, discuss it first and then vote on it. That's, of course, that's one way. And, well, we can vote on it right now. And
I think it's customary to take a preliminary vote.
Yeah, let's vote. Who knows? Maybe we can all get out of here, huh?
Uh-huh. Okay, then I think that, of course, you know that we have a first-degree murder charge here, and if we vote the accused guilty, we've got to send him to the chair. That's mandatory.
I think we know that.
Yeah, let's see who's where.
Okay, anyone doesn't want to vote?
Guy with me.
Okay, then just remember that this has to be 12-0 either way. That's the law. Okay, are we ready? All those voting guilty, please raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, that's 11 guilty. Those voting not guilty? 1. Right. 11 guilty, 1 not guilty. Well, now we know where we are.
Boy, oh boy, there's always one.
Oh, what are we doing now?
I guess we talk.
Boy, oh boy.
You really think he's innocent?
I don't know.
I mean, you sat in court with the rest of us. You heard what we did. The kid's a dangerous killer. You could see it.
He's 18 years old.
Well, that's old enough. He stabbed his own father 4 inches into the chest. They proved it a dozen different ways in court. Would you like me to list them for you?
No.
Then what do you want?
I just want to talk.
So that film's called 12 Angry Men, and I'm sure you'll come across it in any sort of social psychology module or course, or wherever it is that you're doing in psychology. Now, it's interesting because you will go on to see how that gentleman, who the one who said not guilty, will go on to convince the rest, and he's got everybody against him. Now, that was the only real clip I could show you. The trailer's a little bit cheesy, and being quite an old film, it's quite difficult to find a decent copy of it. But I will throw some links below so you can buy all these films. Now, just before we go on to our last two and honourable mentions, I just want to let you know about my channel that you can subscribe to. We have weekly videos, we stream live, and you can join in to the video. Now, subscribing to my channel would be appreciated, but of course you can always find me on Instagram, where you can have a chance to follow my study tips or motivational support every day. Now, our next film it stars Jack Nicholson, and to be honest, need I say more? I love Jack Nicholson, but this one we're going back to mental health. Now, Jack Nicholson is being admitted to a mental health facility in I think the 1960s, and we get to have a glimpse of just how people with mental health was treated back then. It's not as bad as you may think. It wasn't as bad when I first heard about it, but it was still pretty bad, especially around the treatment and the care and the respect that they got, or lack of. So have a look at this clip, tell me what you think, but also there's another film I got mentioned called Girl Interrupted, which is a similar kind of film, and it might be worth looking at as well.
What can you tell me about why you've been sent over here? They think you've been faking it in order to get out of your work detail.
Do I look like that kind of guy to you, Doc?
Medication time.
Yummy.
Do you want to say something to the group, Mr. McMurphy?
Not a thing, Doc. I'm a goddamn marvel of modern science.
Want to watch the ball game? Baseball?
I only count 9 votes, Mr. McMurphy.
I want that television set turned on! The chief...
Stop this immediately!
What nurse, man?
Sit down!
He's dangerous.
Hey, what the hell is going on here? How about it, you creep, you lunatics? You think you crazy or something? Well, you're not. You're not.
Now that film's called Once Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and I was right, I was just looking it up. It was out in 1975, so it was about the mental health facilities in the 60s. It was just out a little bit later. Now, the last film, let me just say, when it came to memory, short-term memory, long-term memory, it is a topic you look at in psychology, but it was perhaps my least favourite topic. I really struggled around the idea of memory, but I did ultimately understand it. But what would have helped is this next film. We're looking, it's actually a crime thriller, so it's a little bit different, but we're looking at a character who suffers from short-term memory loss. It's so short that he has to write himself notes in order to understand how best to solve this case of who murdered his wife. Now I'm just going to show you the trailer because I'm going to be honest, I still haven't seen this film. If you've seen it, let me know in the comments what you think of it and if should I watch it or not. Here you go.
I guess I've already told you about my condition.
Funny every time I see you.
You don't remember where you've been or what you've just done.
I can't make new memories. Everything just fades.
What's the last thing you do remember?
My wife.
That's sweet.
Dying.
You really want to get this guy, don't you?
My wife deserves vengeance.
When you find this guy, what are you gonna do?
Kill him.
Somebody's got to pay, Lenny. Somebody always pays.
You have to be very careful.
You wander around playing detective. Maybe you should start investigating yourself.
This guy is so dangerous. He's gonna kill me.
Who is he? What do you want from me? I want my life back! I think someone's trying to get me to kill the wrong guy.
You can question everything. You can never know anything for sure.
There are things you know for sure.
You can't trust her.
Even if you get revenge, you're not gonna remember it. You're not even gonna know that it happened.
Who did this to you?
You did. You don't know who you are.
So that film was called Momento. It was out in 2000, and again, let me know what you think of it if you do go on to watch it. Amazon links will be below. But that is pretty much for this. That's pretty much it for this week's of videos. Now, some honourable mentions might be the Joker from any Batman film or series, because the Joker is just riddled, pun intended, with psychological. I don't know how to put it. The guy is just really interesting to watch. Now, Black Swan is also really psychological. Fight Club as well, which is a really good film. Taxi Driver. Let me know about any other films you think I should have mentioned in this list. Again, I might do another video around other psychology films. Maybe ones that aren't quite on the nose, but still interesting to watch. Just before we go, just to remind you, you can catch me this Sunday doing a live stream. Also find me on Instagram. If you do like me, if you want to support this channel, I do have a Patreon now set up. But other than that, thank you for watching this video. I hope to see you next week, this Sunday, somewhere on my channel, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.